Hey guys, it's Ash. I just wanted to make a video on my two week wait symptoms of pregnancy. Now, anytime anybody goes through infertility treatment, you pay super close attention to your body. Normally, you probably wouldn't even pay attention to the symptoms you're having because you're a lot of times people aren't even trying to get pregnant. They just get pregnant. They're doing other things. They're not paying attention to what their body's doing. Um, I didn't have any symptoms a couple days. No, like day 2 or 3 after transfer. I felt this, like, in between then, I would feel like little twinges in my uterus and, like, little pains in my vagina. But, like, day 3-ish, I felt, they call it lightning crotch. Honestly, I have no idea why I'm feeling it this early. This is just what my body did. This is my first child that I've given birth to, so maybe this is why. But I had sharp shooting pains on one side of my vagina. They don't last very long, and it only lasted for a minute, intermittently, like 10 seconds apiece. So day 4, I did it again when I was sleeping. But it did it for like 10 minutes long, intermittently, not continuously, or I would have went to the hospital. So I looked it up that day because I was like, well, maybe that's just something from my surgery. Maybe my vaginal wall is healing or something, because they do puncture it to do your egg retrieval. So like maybe that's what it is. But after that, no, I knew it was something different. So, and then it would shoot down and it would feel like it would come back up through my pubic bone. And it did it for about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, on and off. So I read online about it. It normally happens around 6 weeks. It can start happening. But I figured if I put twins in, my uterus and my vagina muscle down there and ligaments and stuff will be stretching earlier than normal. Because they would stretch normally, but there's 2 things implanting down there. And then I would feel twitches in my uterus, which I figure was kind of like the baby's implanting. I don't know. I've never been pregnant before. So when they first did it, I thought maybe it was just cramping from them putting the catheter in. But I felt it twinge down in the middle towards the right side and then up towards the center, but over to the left. And it did it a few times in those same exact spots. So I'm going to be very curious to see where the embryo is implanted in my uterus. Just because I pay so much attention because I know what's happening, So I'm super sensitive to things that happen. So my boobs had been sore through stimulating. Not even as much as like period soreness, and I never got a lot of period soreness in my breast. They get a little bit tender during my period, but nothing crazy. Literally, you could barely, you wouldn't really be able to tell. I just knew they were a little sore than normal. And that was the same way with stimulating. They were sore, but they wouldn't be no sore than my period. My boobs would be during my period if they got sore. But boy, about 4 or 5 days after my transfer, my boobs have been the sorest I've ever felt them. Which I'm like, yes. I was a little nauseated those, like, the first couple days after my transfer, but, I was hoping, I was like, yes, I'm a little nauseated, yeah. I don't know if it's psychosomatic or not, but I was a little nauseated. And the day 4 when I had those pains in my vagina, my stomach, I felt so bad. I was like, maybe I just have to poop. Maybe it will stop. Because it started to cramp a little bit. And I was like, oh, God. So I got up. And then I tried to use the bathroom. And I vomited. So I was like, oh, my God. And I ate 2 bags of chips because I was hungry. So I threw all of those up. And I threw my pills I took up because I had to take I worked night shift. So it was all during the day. My body was just all crazy. So, and then I was nauseous and threw up one other time, and then I haven't been nauseous anymore. That was like day 5 or 6, and I haven't been nauseous since then. I felt pretty good, actually. I was surprised. It's kind of weird at the same time. But my girl was like, Ashley, you're not supposed to even be feeling anything yet. Most people don't even know they're pregnant yet. So, I've had little twitches in my uterus, on and off every once in a while from then, but maybe like every other day it would do it like once or twice. And then I've had a little bit of twinging, like muscle pain in my vagina area, and then the other day I had a couple little sharp shooting pains in my anus, which, of course, I read online. It's all part of, being pregnant. A lot of times it's later on, but I also read from the Mayo Clinic that when you will feel them earlier, the more that your body produces progesterone and something prolactin or something, where it loosens the muscles in your area down there so that you makes room for the baby. And of course, because I did IVF, I have to take IM progesterone every day, 50 milligrams. So I don't think my body would normally be producing as much progesterone as it is right now because I'm putting so much in it. So I think that's why I'm feeling those stretching pains or lightning crotch. Now, my iron is low because normally when I have my period, it's extremely heavy. But I'm used to that, and I'm used to being tired. Plus, I work night shifts, so I'm kind of tired regardless, especially when I do my days of working, of course. But like that next day recovering after you've worked 3 days, it's hard. But I've actually been tireder than I normally am, but it's after activity. When I do something that I would normally do, like when I clean the house, like I can only clean one room, then I have to go lay down and take a nap. I've noticed myself being more tired than I normally am, which my doctor put me on iron, so I know that'll help. And then once I'm really pregnant and not bleeding, then my iron levels will go up, and I won't, I know that part will feel better. Unless the babies take all the extra blood that I'm pulling, which I'm sure they will. And you hear me say, babies. So, I'm trying to think. Oh, the other night, I woke up in the morning, day 8, when I took the pregnancy test. I laid on my left side, and I had my hand on my face like this, so my ear was kind of plugged, and I could hear this heartbeat / swishing noise in my ear, which I've never heard in my life before. Now, my blood pressure has been up, and I told you before that I had to take the blood pressure medicine. I think it's because of all the estrogen and stuff, but anyways, it could be just my blood pressure being elevated, but I am taking medicine for it, so it shouldn't be that high where I'm hearing that in my ear. So I looked on some more information on the baby center, and they said because of the increased blood flow to your uterus and your reproductive organs, that you can hear that swishing in your ear. So I was like, yes, another sign. A sign that you wouldn't normally have, And I was like, oh, because it sounded like a heartbeat. And I was like, oh my God, I can hear my baby's heartbeat. I've heard other people say that. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this is awesome. I wanted to cry. I was like, thank you, God. And then they said it's just you hear the pressure in the vessel. And because your heartbeat when it pumps, that's why it hears shoo, 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 because technically it's your heart, but it's pushing that blood pressure through, your blood through. So that's what you're hearing. So I was like, oh. And most of the women, according on the baby center thing, it's in their left ear. Some said the right ear, but majority was the left ear, and that's what side was on me. I'm like, yes, another sign. So that's when I started taking pregnancy tests again. I was like, I just can't take it. I can't take it any longer. So day 8 is when I started testing. And I also watched other people on YouTube, and when their stuff started to show up was between day 7 and day 9. So I went in the middle and went with day 8. And just like I showed in the other video, it was positive. On the little cheap test, I'm like, oh boy, this is a good sign. Day 9, positive. I mean, these lines aren't like, you can tell that they're there, but they're not super bright yet, you know, because it's still early. So I wasn't sure how the, you can see it, but it's kind of hard to see. Those cheap tests were if they were really right, so I went and bought some more of these because I used these earlier when it was really early when I was testing. And this is today's, darker than yesterday. So I am super, super thankful and excited. Oh my God, I don't know what to do with myself. I cried in the last one, so I'm not going to cry again. Oh, another thing. Now, even when I was stimulating with all those hormones, my nose was super sensitive. I could smell even more than I normally can smell. Because my husband is a smoker, which he smokes outside. He doesn't smoke in the house and that kind of thing. But his cigarette smoke, it stinks anyway. But oh my God, it was worse. It would make me like, bleh. And other things, it would just gag me. I wouldn't vomit, but it would gag me. And then once they implanted them, it was even worse. It's been even worse. Nothing has made me throw up yet from that, but I'm sure that's coming with time. So I will know my beta results on Friday, and I'm super excited. Just from watching other people on YouTube, they waited to call their doctor after their 6/7 week ultrasound with their fertility clinic. And the doctor's office like, we would rather have you here earlier than later, especially with you know, you're implanted twins, you've been through all this trouble. So I went and called them today because this was day 10 and it was super positive and super darker. So I called them, and of course my doctor that I normally see can't do high-risk pregnancies. And I didn't think that, I had a feeling that I may be because I'm 30, but because I've had issues with my blood pressure, I'm a high risk. And because I have GERD. I said, GERD? Everybody has GERD. Especially when you get pregnant, people are going to have GERD. But whatever. Well, because of the high blood pressure, I'm going to be a high risk because it's already started out being high at the beginning. So I have to see another doctor there, a high-risk pregnancy doctor, which, of course, I guess if I was pregnant with twins anyways, it's going to be a high risk regardless. And I'll probably have to deliver at Norfolk General, our trauma center, our high-risk center for, I think Riverside does high risk, but I don't know how often they do twins. I know Norfolk General does them a lot because it's the high-risk center. So I'm okay with that because I want to be monitored closer. So my first ultrasound for them is March 15th. Super excited. And then Friday I'll know when my ultrasound for the Jones Institute is. It's the same EVMS, so they may just use that one. I don't know. But I'll be 6 weeks by then, so they should be able to hear the heartbeat. So I don't know. I don't care. I want to see him all the times I can. So hopefully I can do it more than once. I mean, my insurance is going to pay for it regardless. So, because it's part of my IVF for that ultrasound. Let's see. I think that's about it. Everybody's symptoms are a little different. You'll look all over YouTube seeing whose symptoms match yours. And I have this cute little shirt with the baby crawling out of zipper. I bought these a long time ago, like stepping out in faith and getting them. And so I found it today and I'm wearing it. I know obviously my baby's not that big yet. Right now it's the size of a poppy seed. I looked on Baby Center today and saw what size they are and what they're actually doing this week. So it's pretty cool. They're a poppy seed. I would say that I had increased frequency in urine, but I got a UTI from my stimulation. Because my ovaries were so big, it was pressing up against my kidneys, and I think it messed with it. I've never had a UTI before. I've gotten yeast infections plenty of times, but not a UTI. So I had to take antibiotics every 6 hours for a week. That got real annoying. I was like, oh my God, that's what was safe for pregnancy. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to ask her next time to do it a little bit differently. Because that was just too much. But anyways, I want to take it on time like you're supposed to. So it was hard. But anyways. I wake up all hours in the night anyways normally. But